Four states' most watched news.
A small Texas community mourns its unspeakable loss. I'm Aaron Jones in Uvalde, Texas, where authorities are investigating another school massacre.
Plus, how expanding wastewater testing in Missouri could help track disease.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
As the nation mourns the deaths of Texas school children in a mass shooting, we now know more about the events and the suspect. This is KOAM News at 5. Investigators say the 18-year-old who opened fire in a Texas elementary school barricaded himself in a single classroom to carry out one of the worst school shootings in U.S. history. Reporter Aaron Jones is in Uvalde, Texas with the latest.
Investigators swarm the streets around Uvalde's Robb Elementary School, the site of the nation's latest heartbreak.
It is intolerable and it is unacceptable for us to have in the state anybody who would kill little kids in our schools.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says 18-year-old Salvador Ramos posted on Facebook before shooting his grandmother and then barging into a fourth-grade classroom with an AR-15 assault rifle. Police say that's where he killed 19 children and 2 teachers.
The shooter was able to make entry into a classroom, barricaded himself, and at that point, it just started shooting children and teachers that were inside that classroom, having no regard for human life, just a complete tragedy.
After confronting and killing the shooter, police went to his home and found his grandmother clinging to life. A neighbor says the shooter moved in with his grandparents because of troubles at home and describe him as quiet and hard to talk to. His motive unknown. As the FBI went door to door speaking to neighbors, investigators revealed the suspect had legally purchased 2 rifles soon after turning 18.
There has been no criminal history identified yet. He may have had a juvenile record, but that is yet to be determined. There was no known mental health history.
After an agonizing wait for information, all families have now been notified of their loss, including relatives of 10-year-old Eliana Garcia. She was very sweet. President Biden, after pleading for new gun restrictions, will visit Uvalde as soon as this weekend, hoping to bring comfort to the heartbroken. Aaron Jones, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
2 law enforcement officials tell CBS News the gunman got into a fight with his grandmother yesterday morning before shooting her, taking her car, and carrying out the massacre. A little bit later, expert advice for discussing school violence with our kids. A lawsuit alleges that a Barton County jailer bartered with inmates for sexual favors. In the lawsuit, a woman who was an inmate claims she and others were sexually abused and deprived of rights at the Barton County, Missouri jail by Deputy Antonio Azua. The accuser claims during her 3 times as an inmate from 2018 to 2019, she had to barter for more humane conditions and special privileges. The plaintiff also claims she was raped by Azua while she was shackled, and she had to perform a sexual favor in order to drink water from a sanitary container. Defendants in the case have filed a response denying the allegations. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, again, during the morning hours, we had scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region. Thankfully, nothing too strong, nothing severe, but most of the afternoon has looked pretty good. We've had partly cloudy skies across the region. You can see rain kind of circles us. We will get a few isolated showers that pop up during the evening hours, but most of the evening is looking pretty good until all this rotates back in late tonight. So the evening hours in general, pretty good. Just isolated pop-up storms. And then late tonight, we'll get this batch of showers and thunderstorms, which will start to rotate back in and then into the morning hours. So through the evening hours, we drop back through the 60s, eventually into the 50s for overnight lows. Of course, we're going to look into the holiday weekend here in just a bit.
See you then. Recurring flooding problems in the Miami, Oklahoma area have led to tension and legal battles involving the city, property owners, and the Grand River Dam Authority for years. Well, now the city has scheduled a town hall meeting to address some of the issues, including the GRDA's operation of the Pensacola Dam. That meeting is going to be on June 10th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Coleman Theater in Miami. Among those attending will be city and community leaders, legal counsel, and experts. The city says the meeting will include updates on some legal disputes and opportunities for public comments and questions. Project that started in May of 2020 to detect COVID-19 early in Missouri may also be able to tell us when other diseases are present. The Sewer Shed Surveillance Project has been sampling wastewater throughout the Show Me State to understand what COVID really looks like in the area and what variants are present. With the rise of at-home COVID-19 tests, health departments might be underestimating COVID and other virus cases in the area. This data could bridge those gaps.
Poop doesn't lie, so we can always figure out what's really going on. Especially, I think, is if there is a new lineage that comes in that is going to cause problems, that we can sort of give them a heads up about it.
Any virus can be tested in the sewer shed, which could be very useful for health departments in the future. We're going to have more on that for you tonight at 6. A local organization that helps traumatized children is celebrating 25 years of service. The Children's Center of Southwest Missouri today presented a get-together. The center first opened its doors in 1997. Since then, staff has provided services and care to more than 20,500 families experiencing abuse.
A bigger problem with child abuse, but I think it's also a better job that we've done of getting education out to our community to know that child abuse is not okay. Used to, child abuse was kind of a taboo subject that nobody wanted to talk about, and I think now more people are willing to talk about that and acknowledge that it's not okay.
Besides Joplin, the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri also serves Monette, Butler, and Nevada. Up next, handling a difficult conversation.
It's a struggle parents are facing again, talking to their children about school violence. I'm Bradley Blackburn with some advice on how to start the conversation and help kids feel safe.
Plus, some antiviral medications may help treat monkeypox. Those stories just ahead in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, many parents are struggling with how to talk to their children about the Texas school shooting. Reporter Bradley Blackburn looks at ways to start the conversation and keep the lines of communication open.
It's a conversation parents wish they didn't have to have with their children, discussing deadly school shootings.
It's scary for them to know what to do and to be afraid.
Parents are often afraid to bring up these topics because they don't want to worry their kids. But psychologists say avoiding the conversation can make the situation even scarier for children.
We want kids to learn about big traumatic things from a trusted adult. If they learn about it from other kids, then they're going to hear potentially more sensational bits. They're not going to have accurate information.
Dr. Jamie Howard is a senior clinical psychologist with the Child Mind Institute. She says these conversations can start with children around school age.
An opener is, I'm feeling really sad about a news story that I saw, and I wonder if you've heard about it. You don't want to jump in with a lengthy, detailed explanation because it might be more than they need and more than they want.
Dr. Howard says parents can remind kids that statistically this violence is still very unlikely to happen at their school, and they can talk about what safety measures are in place.
They practice stay put drills in their school where the doors are locked and they stay quiet. And I don't think my daughter even knew what they were for, so they weren't so scary to her. Now she has a better understanding that they're to help keep her safe.
Parents should also keep a close eye on changes to their child's emotions, behavior, appetite, or sleep, which can be signs a child is feeling anxious. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Experts say it's okay for parents to look sad or angry, but they should be mindful that big emotions from a parent can also scare children. The National Association of School Psychologists has tips for parents and teachers for talking to children about violence. You can find those tips on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Some antiviral medications may help treat monkeypox. That's according to a new study published in The Lancet. Researchers looked at 7 cases of monkeypox since 2018 and found 2 antivirals had the potential to shorten symptoms and reduce the amount of time a patient is contagious. However, study authors warn that more research is needed, especially considering recent monkeypox outbreaks. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our Pet Vet on Call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about why dogs smell so bad.
Plus, we still have some more rain in the forecast tonight and Thursday. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be kind of a rainy start once again for us today. Showers, thunderstorms during the morning hours. Some of these a little bit stronger, nothing too strong, nothing severe, which is good. But look at these rainfall amounts. This is kind of crazy. May has been very, very wet. We've had numerous rounds of severe weather. We just haven't had a big severe weather outbreak, which is fine. Over a half an inch again today. We're over 11 inches for the month of May, which is kind of crazy. For the year, we're closing in on 25. Should be at 17 and a half, so we're above normal by over 7 inches of rain. We got more rain in the forecast. Looks okay right now. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures with the clouds and the showers mainly been keeping us upper 50s to low to mid 60s, a little bit warmer on the Missouri side. And as we go through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 60s, eventually into the 50s. Kind of chilly tonight as we drop back to about 53, 54 degrees for an overnight low. Look at the band. Showers, thunderstorms rolling through earlier today. Now, since that point in time, we've been, in general, pretty dry. I do think we'll get a few isolated little thunder showers, a few isolated little thunderstorms, which will pop up, but most of the evening looks pretty good. As you look to the west, you can see a big wall of rain out towards central Kansas, down through Wichita. This is the backside of the system. This is going to rotate in, so this is going to give us more rain in the forecast late tonight into the morning hours. You can see our center of circulation just to the northeast of Wichita. So until it passes through, passes by, we're going to have those chances for showers and thunderstorms. Let's go through time tonight. Kind of a hit-miss shower. That's it. Most of us dry. After midnight, clouds thicken up again. Some scattered showers start to pick up late. Here's 3 a.m. kind of picking up a little bit more by the morning hours, especially our southern counties as we get a band that rotates through. And then as we go through the morning hours, we're kind of on the back side of this system, so we see scattered showers, a few random little thunderstorms, kind of lasting all day long. So this will keep our temperatures down a bit. 51 to start, 57 by noon. High temp is 62. The winds are going to switch to northwest as we go into the afternoon. Tomorrow night, we finally start to clear out. Chilly, upper 40s. 4 overnight lows, and then Friday looks great. Partly sunny skies. We rebound back into the mid 70s for highs. So additional rainfall, it's going to be overall fairly light. I would say another 1/4 of an inch in spots, but that should be just about it. There could be some random half-inch marks with this next batch that is going to rotate through later on tonight. All right, 62 tomorrow, 75 Friday. Here's a holiday weekend. Feels like summer. Mid-80s, slight chance for a thunderstorm on Saturday, and then thunderstorm chances will start to re-enter the forecast by the time we head into late next week. If we look at our severe threats, I don't even see a severe threat until next Wednesday, which is June 1st, and then those severe threats stick around 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, so the second half of next week, but at least until then, we don't have any worries of severe weather for the next 7 days.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And the weekend, the holiday weekend, looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks, Todd. Here's a look at our tower camera, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction, as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. You can check it out anytime on your own. It's on our website, koamnewsnow.com/power. Coming up, the investigation into the contamination that shut down a plant that makes baby formula. First, though, we recognize a local World War II veteran. Charles Crane served with an infantry division in the U.S. Army from 1944 to 46. The Riverton, Kansas native was stationed in France. Private Charles Crane of 4-state. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the FDA is outlining missteps the agency took responding to contamination issues at a Michigan factory at the center of the baby formula shortage. The hearing on Capitol Hill comes as more formula arrives from overseas to ease the crisis. Michael George reports.
The head of the FDA says changes need to be made across the board at the agency following its response to concerns of contamination at the Michigan factory at the center of the baby formula shortage.
You're right to be concerned, and the public should be concerned. As I've said already, it was too slow, and there were decisions that were suboptimal along the way.
Dr. Robert Califf told a House subcommittee part of the FDA's delay in inspecting the plant was because of a COVID outbreak at the Abbott facility. He also described the results of the FDA inspection.
Frankly, the inspection results were shocking. Standing water, cracks in the key equipment that present the potential for bacterial contamination to persist.
He also addressed the agency's delay in reviewing an October whistleblower complaint alleging safety violations at the plant. The whistleblower wasn't interviewed until December. Lawmakers expressed their outrage.
I'm actually pretty furious about the FDA's lack of food safety leadership, communication, and action.
I don't understand how the FDA can justify 3 months to respond to this crisis.
The hearing coincides with the arrival of a second shipment of baby formula from Europe to help ease the shortage. It follows Sunday's arrival in Indianapolis of a shipment from a Nestle plant in Switzerland. This latest shipment goes to Pennsylvania to be distributed. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Abbott executives say after the company restarts production next month, it's going to be able to produce more formula than before the recall. Hyundai is recalling 239,000 cars because part of the seat belt can explode. The issue is with the pretensioner, which retracts during a collision to keep the passenger in the seat. 3 injuries have been reported. The recall includes some Hyundai Accents and Elantras. And Coca-Cola is phasing out its Honest Tea product line by the end of the year. The beverage company said in a statement it's rationalizing its lineup of drinks and prioritizing fewer, bigger brands. Coke says Gold Peak and Peace Tea will anchor its ready-to-drink tea lineup. The company added that its popular Honest Kids line will still be available. Our Pet Vet on Call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, we hear from the family of a Texas 4th grader killed just 2 weeks after her 10th birthday. Then on KOAM News at 6, Bronte Sorotsky explains how additional wastewater testing in Missouri could help track various diseases. Plus, the remains of a veteran killed at Pearl Harbor finally returning to Missouri. And the Colgan Panthers try to return to being state baseball champs. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News. And then KOAM News at 6. A dog goes out on a rainy day, and what do you get? You get that distinctive wet dog smell. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call: why do dogs smell so bad?
Because they're dirty. Unlike humans who bathe and shower almost every single day, some dogs never get a bath. They're lucky to get a bath once a month. And when they go outside and they roll in dead things, get sprayed by skunks, roll in stagnant mud puddles, that bacteria and dirt dries in their coat. And then water releases that aroma. But it is nothing that a little soap and water won't cure. Every dog should get bathed regularly. Grooming and soap and water prevents stinky dogs.
Now, the dog might have a different opinion on their regular bathing, but that's the advice. We invite questions from anyone. If you have one, just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for this week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this Husky Shepherd mix, an adult female. Her name is Sophie. Look at those eyes. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we've chosen this female mixed breed puppy. Her name is Jane. Sweet little face there. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? Seeing a bit of blue sky out there at the moment.
Yeah, a few peaks of the sun are going to be sticking around throughout the evening hours, but also a few isolated showers as well. We do get a band back in late tonight into tomorrow morning, kind of on and off showers, a random thunder shower. Then we start to dry out and warm up as we head into the holiday weekend.
And the weekend temps, warm but looking pretty nice. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.